Well, another weekend in the Rams football team. Wait, they won? All right, we'll show you just how the Rams got their second win of the season.
Now, a lot of Ram fans have been waiting for basketball season, and the wait is finally over. We have highlights from their game against Metro State.
Love it. And you will literally flip when you see this week's In Case You Missed It. Happy Pun Day Monday. CTV starts right now. Welcome to CTV Sports. I am Scott Huston, joined this week by Riley Adams. And Riley, guess what?
What?
The Rams football team finally won a game.
Woo!
It's been long enough. All right, the Rams hadn't won a game since week 1 of this season and hadn't won a game at Hughes since September 10th of last year.
It's pretty depressing, Scott. Now, it's been a long time coming. We'll break down what that meant for the football team later in the show.
Yeah, but first, let's start off with Rams volleyball team in Around the Fort. All right, the CSU women's volleyball team hit the road last week playing 2 divisional opponents in Nevada and San Diego State. CSU has been rolling through the Mountain West Conference play with their last 3 matches all being sweeps of conference opponents, one of which was Mountain West leader UNLV. However, CSU lost to San Diego State in 4 sets, but they did get a win against Nevada, which gave them a tie for 2nd place in the conference. Now the Rams play in Wyoming this Friday in their version of the Border War. And good news, Ram fans, basketball season has finally started. Kind of. The men's basketball team played their first exhibition game of the season against Metro State at Moby yesterday. And more good news, the team has been receiving top 25 votes from both the coaches and AP polls. New faces Colton Iverson and Daniel Bejarano got to play with the team for the first time as well.
When most people think of NCAA sports, generally hockey, football, and basketball may come to mind, but one that may have flown under your radar is quidditch. Yes, I said it, quidditch. I went to check out this very unique sport. What began as a fictional concept created by English author J.K. Rowling in the Harry Potter series soon became a reality for these players.
It's ridiculous. I mean, we're playing Harry Potter, so we always have fun.
Not many CSU students know that Quidditch is a sports team here. This is one thing the Quidditch team wants to change.
I think everyone deserves a little magic in their life.
Magic isn't the only perk being a member of the Quidditch team offers. This team is a part of the International Quidditch Association, where they play teams from all around their nation. Their next stop, New Mexico.
Out of all the sports offered at CSU, I asked this team, why play Quidditch?
Why play Quidditch? I mean, I guess why not? I mean, we're running around with brooms between our legs. It's a good time. It's a silly sport. I mean, we're playing something that's based on a book. We have a good time. It's a good community. There's people all over the country playing it. And if you want to tackle someone, you can do that too.
The Quidditch pitch, where magic comes to life. This is Riley Adams for CTV Sports. For more information, like their Facebook page called Boggart's Quidditch Club at Colorado State University. After the break, CSU won its first game in 6 weeks. But does it mean anything? Scott and I will give you our thoughts on the win.
"7,000 high school students drop out every school day. That's a line of desks more than 4 miles long. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step."
Thanks. You believe this guy? Are you trying to start a wildfire?
Sorry.
Pass the honey?
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to CTV Sports. I'm Riley Adams. He's Scott Huston. And Scott, let's talk about this weekend's win for the football team. Now, I know you were at the game.
I was.
And like we said, it's an earlier first win in a very, very long time. But it wasn't against, the greatest opponent, Hawaii. So what should the Ram fans take away from this win?
They could take away the fact that we won. And it's a good win. It breaks our 6-game losing streak. But this was arguably one of the worst opponents in the entire NCAA. Hawaii they're statistically worse than us in every single category. They're about at the same level CU is. They just don't play in a strong conference, so we don't see that. But, we should take the momentum away from this win going into Wyoming next week. It's a very big moral victory for our team.
Absolutely, Scott. I completely agree. It's great for the morale. It's good to get a win under our belts. Just for this team, I think they really needed one, but got to keep it in perspective, like you said. And now I've got a question for you. What aspect of the Rams team do you think did the best in the game against Hawaii?
I think it was pretty clearly the defense, especially in the second half. Hawaii had 4 very good field possession starts. In the second half, the CSU offense committed 3 turnovers, and a blocked punt. And the defense really held them to only 3 points from those 4 turnovers. I mean, that's impressive. If that hadn't happened, this could be a very different story. They caused 5 turnovers, and returned 2 for touchdowns. It's an impressive victory for Colorado State's defense, not so much offense.
Absolutely. If the defense wouldn't have been there, it would have been a very different outcome. And I also have to give a shout out to Pete Kondodiakis. I think he did amazing. Yeah, he has 2 of the longest punts in the Mountain West, one at 72 yards. He put us in great field positions the entire game. He did really well for us too. So what about the offense now? Redshirt freshman Connor Smith started his first game against Hawaii. How do you think he handled this offense?
In the first half, I thought he played extremely well. Only really missed 1 target, and the 2 interceptions in this game really weren't his fault. One was a batted pass at the line. That's really just a jump ball. And the other one was a lucky bounce off of a Wyoming defender's back, and he just managed to catch it. Very, very lucky. But in the second half, it brought a little bit more concern. He was only able to pass for 7 yards in the entire second half. And that's troubling. But the running game seemed to start its momentum too. Chris Woke seemed like he was a little bit back. He got a 100-yard game, and that's great. But these fumbles and these turnovers, they're killing our offensive.
Yep, you can't have that and expect to win a game against a good team.
Yeah.
Now, but I was very impressed with Connor Smith. That throw to Woke, beautiful.
Good read.
Beautiful.
Great way to find the open
I loved it, and I think he's got great potential. He's got 3 more years ahead of him. I can't wait to see what this brings. And now, Scott, our next game coming up this weekend is against Wyoming. Who do you think will take the bronze boot?
I hate to say it, but I got to take Wyoming. CSU just didn't look good in this past game, especially on the offense. 5 turnovers is absolutely unacceptable. And Wyoming has at least been able to keep their games close against very similar opponents that we've been playing. And we haven't been able to keep a lot of our games close. It just hasn't been that great. I got to take Wyoming by 7.
All right. I'm going to pick CSU just out of mere hope, but I think I might agree with you fact-wise.
Haven't won in a very long time. The last time the Rams went up to Laramie, they lost 44-0. So hopefully it won't be a repeat.
Not great. Now, in case you missed it, is up next. The Pittsburgh Steelers may have won their game on Sunday, but it was an ugly win, literally. See maybe the ugliest jerseys in sports history coming up next.
Hi there, I'm Ryan Green.
And I'm Kirsten Swanson. Join us on the plaza for our live Halloween show.
That's right, we'll be here, but we'll be in costume. We're not going to tell you what we're going to be. You have to be here to see it.
We'll see you then.
Clean kitchen surfaces, utensils, and hands with soapy water. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
All right, it is now time for our favorite segment called In Case You Missed It. These are all the weird videos or stories that you might have missed from last week. Now, I don't know about you, Riley, but I missed the entire World Series. Didn't catch a game.
Pretty boring.
Yeah, it was a sweep, not that great a competition, but we probably weren't the only ones that missed it. Probably a lot of Giants fans in San Francisco missed it because of parking. Look at these prices for simple parking. Compact car, $90. Compact SUV, $100. Full-size SUV truck, $130 for parking.
Scott, who would pay for that? I could get so many pairs of shoes with that. It is not even funny.
No, that's ludicrous. I really hope nobody paid those prices. Take the trolley. Walk.
Take a run, maybe. You're going to a sports
cab.
game. Let's get active here.
What are you doing? Come on, San Francisco.
Making us upset.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that was hard to miss this past weekend were the eyesores that the Pittsburgh Steelers wore.
Uglier than the prices.
Their throwback uniforms were a striped monstrosity. What do you think, Scott?
Terrible. One of the worst things I've ever seen.
Absolutely. Now, what do you think your favorite, ugliest jerseys are?
Gotta go with Maryland. The explosion of the state flag, it looks awful. Looks like a bad Photoshop job. Ugh, what about you, Riley?
Mine is definitely the U.S. women's team. You know, the stripe, the horizontal stripe does nothing for these women. They have great bodies. Get them out of it. I hate it.
You know, it looks like they found Waldo, and Waldo liked it.
And they played soccer on the field.
Oh, gosh.
All right.
What did you think about the orange helmets and jerseys that the Rams donned this past weekend for the Orange Out?
You know, Scott, I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I absolutely loved it. I don't know if it's the colors, but I loved it. It's so original. It's unique. That horn looks great. I love
the orange, but the orange in the helmet looks terrible. Go back to gold. Go to white. Go to something else. Love the ribbing in that. But the horn itself, the coloring, not so much.
Next season, I think,
Hopefully.
New helmets.
One would hope. Now, in the past few weeks, we've been showing you a lot of impressive high school plays, a lot of long field goals, but this is probably one of the most surprising. This running back gets the rock on the outside, showing off his speed a little bit, showing a juke, but then right here, front flip.
People, that is no illusion. There's no trampoline. He just flipped over a human being.
Now, Riley, you know, I can do that. I can. I don't like to show off. And I think
Not
this
over
sir
a
needs to
person?
learn that.
No.
3 people, actually. I'm that impressive.
I think he likes to be the center of attention. What do you think?
I think he should team up with the dodgeball player we had in a few weeks ago, showing those Spider-Man Matrix moves.
Yes, they'd make a great team.
Love it.
Now, we all know Hurricane Sandy has hit the East Coast. Our thoughts are with everyone out there. But, Scott, this is America. We've got a lot of adrenaline junkies.
Yeah.
Yes, and this guy, he's no different. He thought hurricane weather would be perfect weather, maybe, I don't know, for a nice rollerblade ride. But, hey, it's raining. You know, I don't want to get my face wet. Better put on my handy-dandy unicorn mask.
You know, why not? I mean, I think what he's trying to do here is one-up the guy that made the news earlier for jogging in the rain, a horse's head.
And now he's rollerblading in the rain. I don't understand it.
You know, I've heard the argument he's trying to get a good workout. Let me explain something to you, buddy. It is not that the wind it is blowing. It is what the wind is blowing. If he gets hit with one of those Volvos in the background, I don't really think it's going to matter that he's rollerblading or in good shape.
I think he'll be on the ground after that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, I don't think so.
Credit to Ron White for that joke. Thank you, Mr. White. All right, but that's all the time we have for you this week. If you missed any of our show or the previous shows, you can go and check out all of our stories at ctv11news.com under the sports section.
Be sure to check in next Monday night when we give you our official basketball season preview. Scott joins our producer Ryan Green at Moby Arena to break down the basketball season.
Yeah, and again, our thoughts and prayers go out to those on the East Coast. Please be safe. Also, be sure to check our live show this Wednesday on the Plaza. And be sure to follow us on your favorite social networks, Twitter and Facebook. We'll see you next week.
Students are responsible for all CTV content, therefore they bear responsibility for the decisions they make. CTV is not an official program of Colorado State University, but is produced by an independent, nonprofit corporation using the name CTV pursuant to a license granted by CSU.